driver interviews, pit action, industry news. We're bringing you everything that fuels the adrenaline-pumping world of dirt track racing. Buckle up now. You're sitting with the Slimy Bastards. Take it away, Jason.
Oh, fuck. What'd I push?
Recording in
you're good, Casey.
You're fine.
So, right out of the fucking gate here, Shawn, but,
well, hell, I'm here just to fuck shit up.
Put your hat.
Camera is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Jason.
I've been looking forward for this one because episode 3, season 2 with Shawn Ritter, the hay grinder, and Casey Delp out in Rock Springs, Wyoming. And special thanks to the guys that helped me out with this podcast. So sitting with the Slimy Bastards, to Slade Pitt and the guys at Pit Stop Motorsports, and of course Ryan Anderson and Custom Lures. Check these guys out because they helped me out a ton with what I'm doing here and going to the races and everything and keeping up with everybody. I appreciate the guys' help, and thank you for following and watching. And the ads and support have been tremendous over the last couple of weeks, but I'm pleased to announce I have Casey Delp and Shawn Ritter. And these guys,
Oh,
I'll
that's
tell you what,
Sean Dean.
And the Casey Glenn show.
That's right.
This has been I've been looking forward to this one. I told Casey back in Rock Springs last year at my dad's memorial race that I wanted to have you two on, but I wanted to have you guys on together, and so I'm glad to have you guys on and make it work out on a Friday night of race night of all things. But Rock Springs, you guys are opening up this coming week, Memorial Day weekend coming up in Rock Springs, and Casey, I'll say out of all the tracks, Rock Springs is one of my top 5 tracks. I love the track. I love the atmosphere, everything in Rock Springs, Wyoming. And it's just a fun weekend of racing. And that's your guys' kickoff week. And how long you been racing out there in Rock Springs?
Oh, shit. What is it? 24 years, 25 years, something like that?
Yeah. And Shawn, you've been out there a couple times racing and that, haven't you?
Yep. Actually, is it Sweetwater Speedway? Is what it's called. That was the very last race I had in my stock car. I was at Justin Yeager's memorial, or his dad's memorial race.
Yep.
And I raced the first night of it, and I had my daughter Kinsey, the 121, and my wife, the 5JR, out there. And the second night, we were getting ready to race, and my arms were still pretty hurt, pretty sore from the night before. If people don't know, I can't race anymore because my arms don't work very good. But I went up to Justin Yeager and I said, "Hey, I'm not feeling the best, but I want to see my car out there. You want to go wheel it?" And he's like, "Absolutely." And he goes, "What do I do?" And I said, "Just keep it straight and hold it to the pin." And he just walked away with a win that second night. It was one great night.
Yeah. So but you've been to Rock Springs, you know the atmosphere, you know the track and that, and it's a fast track. Like it's a fast track, and those that are looking to go cross country racing and that, if you could make it work to fit in your schedule to stop by and race this track, that's why I say it's one of my top favorite tracks to go to watch a race. But that getting back to how I know you guys, I met you through Justin Yeager down in Marshalltown when my dad was running around with Justin down there. And you guys, I think it was in early spring in that's when I first met you. And then Casey, I've known Casey since the Idaho Falls days of running around. I don't know if you remember this, Casey, but you and your dad came up to Idaho Falls racing that night, and Jake Rice, my brother-in-law, and I helped you guys out that night up there at Pit because you guys had no one helping you.
Yeah, it was so fucking muddy that night. You couldn't keep a fucking tear off on a helmet.
So that's why I'm bringing this up, Shawn. I don't know if you know this or not, but I was putting the tear offs on Casey's dad's helmet. And my dad came into the trailer. He goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just putting on tear offs." And he goes, "No, you're doing it all wrong." I said, "What do you mean I'm doing them all wrong?" He showed me how he wanted them. He goes, "That ain't right at all." So he
boy.
tears off every fucking thing I done, and he puts them on. I think it's left to right or some damn thing, but it's on the same way. Well, Chuck gets out there to race. It's
Dad pulls
fucking
right
muddier.
to that, it was fucking set up this way. Dad fucking reaches up here and fucking tears them all off on fucking lap 1.
Whoops.
Yeah, he
He
comes
came
in and he's fucking, there's like fucking brown, man. And he's like, who the fuck did my tear off? Jason's like, yeah.
It was a fucking mess. But yeah, that's his dad. He felt bad in that, but he's like, "Oh, you're doing it wrong. Move, get out of the way. You don't know what
Oh,
you're
no,
doing."
it's funnier than fuck. We still talk about it. I mean, to this day.
But that's how I know you guys. It's actually in separate occasions. But let's go into how you guys first met and how you guys, because actually kind of a cool story of you guys were out in the dew in the desert and that, and how
Yeah,
you guys
we were
became
both
pretty
racing the
close
same
friends and
brand.
that. Go ahead, Shawn.
We were both racing the same brand of cars, so we knew of each other, but we never really had any conversations until I made it out to Vegas.
Yeah, and that was it. What was that? Addiction chassis then?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was
Yeah, Beaner built.
2014.
Yeah. What?
Leave it to Casey
No.
right out of the fucking gate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, hell, there ain't nothing fucking proper about me, but so yeah. So anyway, okay, so got these fucking made in Mexico fucking wagons, okay? And so what was it, Brett or
Brett Laurie?
Brett Laurie brought, yeah, you had the wrap for my car.
Yeah, he had the nuts graphics at the time.
Yeah. So shows up in Vegas. He's got my wrap, and then I had axles for Shawn, so I went down there and I'm like, hey, I'm fucking Casey Delp, motherfucker, here's your axles, and he's like, all right, thanks, and that was like the first time that we like met, so then
Yeah.
Brett come up and he was putting my wrap on, and me, I like adult beverages, and I just got fucking plumb fucking stupid watching him put a wrap on. Well, IMCA TV or whoever it was at that time come over and did an interview, and it was fucking bad. I mean, every other word was bleep, 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 bleep. I mean, probably like this interview is gonna be, but
Yeah.
So I get fucked up, and they interview me, and they put the wrap on. So I go back to the motel. We go to bed and wake up next morning. My wife goes, she said, "What the fuck did you do last night?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Why?" Open my phone, and this fucking thing is just blowed up. And so anyway, long story short, so the next day we're going through tech, and here comes Shawn on a fucking little dirt bike, hauling ass to the shitter. All right. I mean, coming in hot.
Yeah.
So, and my dad's pushing me on the 4-wheeler, through tech, and fucking Shawn comes in and he goes, "Hey!" And we'll look over, and he, boom, in the shitter he goes. Comes out, he said, "Don't worry, Casey, it was just a fart." And my dad says, "Who in the fuck was
That guy.
I said, "That's Shawn." I said, "That's who brought my wrap," and Dad's like, "Holy shit," I mean, Dad, my dad, he's like, what
Crazy.
the hell, yeah.
Right.
So we raced, and I talked to Shawn a couple times, so then we got down to duel, and I was working in Cheyenne at the time. So not only did I have to drive home from Vegas, I had to get in my fucking welding truck and then drive all the way to Cheyenne, which is, long fucking ways.
Yeah.
So-
You think of Wyoming, it's quite a drive through the whole fucking
Yeah,
state.
it's more than
It's not
halfway
like
across.
here in Iowa where
Yeah,
you're an
it's more
hour
than-
away from.
Stayed Wyoming.
So, I got there, and I think I got there on what the hell? I got there on a Sunday, went to work Monday, then Monday I was drinking beer and shit and got ready to go to bed. Well, Shawn had sent me a friend request on Facebook, and so I don't even remember, Shawn. Did I accept
we're
her? I
friends
can't
on
remember.
Facebook. I took a picture
Yes,
of the exit I was stranded at, and in that picture you could see Casey's dually pickup in that picture.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
Casey,
I sent him a message. And I
yeah.
says, where are you at? He says, and I told him, I said, motherfucker, I said, that's my pickup and deal, And long story short, didn't know him other than it was a fart,
Yeah.
But went over and I give him my pickup and.
No, you just said the keys are in it.
I was working. That's right. I told you I put him in the gas cap.
Yeah, I'm going to be here for a couple days until my flat deck gets here to load up my truck.
Back.
Another one, and Casey just gave me that 2012 dually and said, "Here, you use it as long as you want." And I'm like,
right.
Well, people don't do that. He barely knows me. And
Right.
I'm rolling around in an $80,000 fucking dually. But I was forever grateful for it.
Yeah. And you guys, I mean, you were just saying that's what, 10 years ago?
Yep, this
It'll
November.
Be 10 years in November.
Yep.
But you guys have kept in touch with each other. You guys go back and forth racing, when you guys go out to Vegas and that, which is.
I always stay in touch daily.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Casey and I talk pretty near every day.
Yeah. So it's in a way, I mean, you can't get over the, what do you want to say, the friendship that just develops and what you never
brotherhood.
Know. Right, exactly.
Or bromance. I mean, fuck, it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, look at that face. Look at that face. Who couldn't love that face?
Casey always liked being the catcher. What could I say?
Well, yeah, because I mean, I wasn't going to argue with that ass.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Casey, how many times have you been back to Iowa here racing?
Actually, I've only been once, and that is when I loaded up Justin and Braxton, and we went out to Iowa, stayed at Shawn's place, and he bought that Rage chassis, and they went up. So that was the only time that I've ever been out here.
I remember that because I just moved here back to Iowa here then, and I remember you guys being, because I came down to Marshalltown, and that's when Justin Yeager helped me remind me of this. But that's when you made your stock car debut there in Marshalltown.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah! I was a fucking favorite that night. I guarantee you that.
The 20V biggest fan. Like, he even come over and introduced himself and everything. Right up until Casey tried to get out of the car. He's like, I don't want no trouble.
And I told him, motherfucker, get back over here. Let's talk about it. I mean, don't be a bitch, But so.
Yeah, no, like Justin said, he goes, fuck. He goes, I had bored people at my pit wanting to know who was driving that fucking car that night. And
yeah, I pulled in. I fuck you. I said, goddamn, Shawn knows a lot of people. I didn't know they wanted to fucking fight.
He got over it.
Shawn's over there. It wasn't me.
Yeah, when I pulled in and I seen all them people, I looked at Shawn. Shawn had a little concern in his face, and I'm like, motherfucker should have chopped me.
Nose.
Yeah, motherfucker kept chopping me. He said, I don't know how you race out there. And I'm like, well, one or two times, chop me. Third time, I'm going to fucking dump you. And I did.
That's exactly how it went.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
You were a crowd favorite that night, huh?
Well, I don't know about that. I made the main. I don't know how the fuck I made the main. But I spun out in front of every fucking buddy under the flag stand. And then everybody in the stand's like, way to go, jackass. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's me.
Yep. We had fun.
I was more worried about fucking Shawn's stock car up than anything because he ain't a shit and you can't drive it in there and step it out because if you do, you spin out. And I did. I mean, I spun out like a fat chick for sure.
So where you guys, I mean, Shawn, you've been to Vegas a couple times racing and all that of the duel in the desert and everything. But I'll ask you first, Shawn, where's one of the favorite places of everything that you've raced? Where do you rank one of your top favorite tracks, minus your home track?
My home track.
Yeah, because your home track would be what? Indianola? Is that?
Marshalltown was my home track.
Okay.
I'm 40 minutes from Marshalltown, 15 minutes from Benton, Benton County Raceway.
Okay.
There's this little old track down in Stephenville, Texas. I don't even think it's even operating anymore.
No, I drove by it the other weekend when I picked up a truck. That some bitch has got weeds growing up in it.
Does it? 281 Speedway. And I don't know, it was just a racy joint. I went down there with Chris Bragg. He's from Springtown, Texas, the 24B modified. He's at the late models now, but yeah, I went down there with him and had a good old time. What's that?
He's big time now.
Yeah, he's big time. He's super late model.
Yeah.
So his son Tyler Bragg, he's a hot shot mechanic and very sought after from the way he tells me. No one else tells me, but Tyler tells me he's important.
Yeah. So where was that at again?
Springtown, Texas.
Okay. And Casey, what would you say is one of your favorite tracks that you go to, that minus Rock Springs, but
Man, I gotta say Vernal. I mean, it's just 100 miles. It's over the hill. I won there last weekend. Friday
that's why
night.
he says it's his favorite, Shawn. Till
Yeah.
next week when he blows.
I was pretty proud of him.
I mean, you know, that track fits me pretty good. Even on a bad night, I do decent. But
Yeah.
I just, you know, it's just fun. You know, I
Yeah.
mean,
I always enjoyed the more bull ring type, you know, Marshalltown, Vinton, like 281. If it got anything over 4/10 or half a mile, I shrunk up. Like it just like starts like that. Then the more the race goes on, the smaller it gets, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
but I mean, Vegas is by far probably my favorite because you just throw your nuts over your shoulder. You drive in, you see Elvis, you wave at him, and you just say, "See you later." You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I remember one time I hit the wall coming off of turn 2 wide open. Man, I hit that motherfucker, and I don't remember shit waking up in 4.
Yeah.
And they asked me, "You know where you're at?" You know, I'm like, "I'm fucking on the racetrack." You know, obviously. But long story short, I hit the wall so hard coming off of 2, I bruised my brain.
Oh,
And when I got home, I couldn't, you know, I was hauling frac sand and I had to walk on sand, you know, which, yeah. My balance ain't very good anyway, but I would fall down. And that's when I was like, man, there's something wrong. So I went in and got an MRI and CAT scan or whatever the fuck it was. And that doctor says, well, I'll call you when I find out. Well, it was like literally like 30 minutes later, he called me and said, come in here, and pulled it up on the screen. And he's like, see that? Yeah, what is that? He said, well, that's your brain. I'm like, well, that fucking sucks. It's not very big. He said, no, that's a bruise on your brain, you know, about the size of a ping pong ball.
Really?
Yeah. So
some of the worst wrecks we've ever seen have been at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, there's one was last year, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I remember that one going into turn 2 and it flipped up and over. In fact, I have a TikTok of it too.
Yeah.
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 But
Shawn, how often do you go out there? Because before you answer that, just so people kind of know, I mean, your daughter dates Dylan Thornton, right? And Dylan's been killing it this year. I mean, he's had some big wins already this year in stock car and modified, and now even with late models.
Yeah.
And,
but hey, you know what? To interrupt on that, Dale, I mean, that goes back to Shawn and I. That one time we was at the Waffle House, we took the fucking little sugar fucking things, you know, and we had to show him, you know, how to do it.
And he listened.
And he listened, and I mean, it shows. I mean, it's so, you know, in a nutshell, I mean, it was Shawn Dean and Casey Glenn that fucking, you know, I mean, so yeah, we're kind of
on the map. Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of a big deal. I mean,
yeah.
You know.
But I mean, you couldn't be happier for the kid, because I remember him coming to from California here to Iowa that first year racing and that, and you know, to see where he's come from. I mean, you couldn't be prouder of the kid for.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. A lot of people, when they hear his name, they just think he was some rich kid that came from California out here on a pension, and that wasn't the case. That boy, he works his butt off for everything he does, and he races methodically enough to realize, like, hey, I can't afford to wreck. I have to do well. Right. And his accomplishments have been just doubling and quadrupling lately. So very proud of him.
And you can see it just all over everything that he's doing. I mean, I would put him as one of the favorites to going into this Clay County race coming up here. I'd put him as one of the favorites going in to win it.
Yeah. Did you know he had no intentions on getting rid of our stock car?
What's that?
When he won Super Nationals last year, if you're in a Harris car and you win Super Nationals, you can laterally trade frame for frame for no money exchanged.
Yeah.
And I told Kyle, I said, my car is just fine just the way it is. I'm just going to keep it. Well, it wasn't 2 months later. We were at USRA Nationals in Wheatland, Missouri, and the lever trailing arm bracket broke in the frame of the car, and it tore the X out. It cracked welds that shouldn't crack. And we had to strip it completely out. We had to take the cockpit out and everything, and we decided, you know what? For as bad as this is now, it needs to be fixed right. Let's just talk about trading. And called Kyle Brown. I said, hey, if we pay the repair, we trade? And he's like, yeah, we'll do it. So we just went ahead and did it. So I think Tuesday was the 5th night on that car, and he won Clay County. So he's getting her figured out.
Yeah, he looks good. I mean, even like I said, everything that he's been going around, I mean, he's been winning at some of these bigger races, so you couldn't be more confident going into probably one of the biggest races of the year, really.
Yeah.
And it's got to be kind of cool seeing of. Now, was that your car that you won the Super Nationals in last year?
Yeah. That's the only car anymore. It is the my stock car. The 38T stock car is the only race car I own. I don't even have a race car hauler anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you do. It's black. It's open.
My little open trailer.
Well, goddamn.
Him and Shane Wiggins were taking that to Clay County because they took the modified and the stock car, and the front axle ripped out from that open trailer of mine. They were dragging it down the highway. So, good thing you got friends all over. Like I have friends in northern Iowa, western Wyoming. They're all over the place. It pays to know because I got a buddy up there, Rich Harris, Bob Harris's nephew. He has a towing business up there, and he said, "Do you need help?" And I'm like, "Yeah, the boys are going to be stranded." So he went and loaded up Dylan's modified in the broken race car trailer, and Dylan put the stock car in his trailer, and they headed home. And Rich just took the parts up to his house, and he's putting new axles in the trailer for me. And
nice.
Just pays to know good people.
Yeah, especially I mean anymore. I mean that's where it kind of like even how you and Shawn know got to know each other. You know?
Oh, I'm telling you. I mean that was something. Fucking Shawn and I talk about it all the time. I mean that's just like. He didn't know me from a hole in the fucking wall, and I didn't know him. But I mean, it's just look at that face. I mean, how could you not love that guy?
Remember when we went to RPM Speedway? It was probably 2015 or 16. I was just starting to drive a modified.
Yep.
And you had your toter, and Jamie and I showed up in a pickup in an open trailer.
Yeah, I told you not to bring shit. I had it all.
Yeah. And everyone, they seen me there. They felt sorry for me.
They felt sorry for this, giving him fucking tires and shocks.
One guy gave me a shock. One guy gave me a wheel. And I'm like, okay, thanks.
Yep.
I'll tell you what. I don't know, Casey, if you know this story or not, but Dylan and Shawn were down in Mason City racing at one of the USMTS races last year. And I stand there shooting the shit with Shawn a little bit. This was after the race, and he got dumped. I think he got dumped in that race, and he was running pretty good. Actually,
he got dumped by the 58. Yeah.
And anyway, they're pretty heated up over everything, and we're standing there shooting the shit. And here comes this couple walking across, from north to south, dead across from the pit of the guy who did this to him, right?
Yeah.
And Shawn and I are shooting the shit, and all of a sudden Shan goes, "Excuse me for a minute." And it goes down just like this. He goes, "Excuse me for a minute." And he turns to the guy and he goes, "You got 2 fucking seconds to turn around and get your ass out of here, because I ain't dealing with any of your bullshit." And the guy goes, "Excuse me?" And he goes, "You heard me, turn the fuck around and get the fuck out." And I'm looking at like, what the fuck is going on here? And the guy goes, "Well, Jesus Christ, that's how you're going to treat your fans. I just wanted to buy a fucking t-shirt." Dylan Thornton.
I felt about that big.
Well, but I mean, you hit that bullshit level, and when it's fucking full, you're over it.
Yeah, that's right. I did apologize to the guy. I think I even paid for his shirt.
You did. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did. It's just funnier than hell. It's one of them moments that actually is one of the moments where when I was heading home from the races, I wanted to call my dad and tell him about it because I was just laughing my ass off, But yeah.
Yeah, Sean
this is
called me
good.
right after that, and he's like, "You're never gonna guess what the fuck I did." and when he calls and tells me that, I'm like,
It could be
I'm all
anything.
ears. I'm fucking all ears because I mean it's never been the same thing twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So out of all the wins that you guys have had, and you guys have had some pretty big wins through your careers and
We had
everything, but
wins back at I
Oh
80.
fuck! When we went with I-80, that was fucking.
Yep.
We was fucking some non-qualify or last chance qualifying winning
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Yep.
That
So you
night.
won a trophy regardless, but you could either take it was like $1,000.
It was to take 1,000 or you took guaranteed and you started the back or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck it was at the main.
yeah,
And both of us just wanted to race. You keep your money. We just want to race. So
yeah.
And we both fucking started the same and we both transferred in.
yep. Yep.
I mean, it was like,
It was meant to be.
I don't know, fucking stars lined up and
Yep.
Sean Dean and that by far was probably one of the funnest racing trips I had in a long time.
Yeah. Just sad to know that that's closed up now. Just
You drive by and it's just a fucking divot.
And where was that at again?
I-80 and Greenwood,
Okay.
Nebraska.
Yep. No. So, Casey, do you have any desires to come back here and race at Boone and that?
Well,
Have you ever done that?
I haven't, and I don't know if Boone is fucking ready for Casey. The older I get, it takes me a little longer to get over it, like fucking big time. But when I'm in the fucking moment, look out. But
Yeah.
Sean and I talked about it. We're gonna come out for either a long weekend or a week or something this summer. So
Jamie and I are going to go out there here in a few weeks. We're going to go ride side by sides with him for a weekend. And,
Oh, nice.
it's not just so cool hanging out with Casey Glenn and his wife. I get to hang out with his mom and dad, and his mom and dad are the coolest people I've ever met in my entire life. I mean, they should
be up for like a fucking award. What is that like?
Well, they're just two amazing souls, and Casey's very lucky to have them, and he tells me all the time.
Well, and then Chuck, the first time I met him, I had a shot right away. We had to have a shot of Jack Daniels and that together, and and I actually it was pretty cool because when I was out doing music tour stuff, I was big with Jägermeister, doing Jägermeister stuff with the band that I was working with. And this guy, he was actually a Jack Daniels rep, and he goes, "Hey, I'm going to give you this jersey thing, and but I want you to wear it the rest of the night." And I was pretty tanked up at the time. I was like, "Fuck it, I don't care. This thing's pretty cool, And Casey, I think you know what I'm talking about. It's like a baseball jersey type thing of it's a Jack Daniels thing with this great big patch on the back of it. And that. Well, then when I met Chuck, we had that Jack Daniels shot together, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it because his car is all decked out like a Jack Daniels bottle at that time. So I'm going to give him this jersey thing. And I ended up giving it to him. I don't know if he still has it or not.
Fuck yeah, and he still wears it.
Does he?
Yep.
It is a pretty cool. It's like a baseball jersey with it. It's a nice jersey.
Button up. It was a nice fucking shirt.
Yeah. It's with stitching. It is all stitching, like great big logos and everything. It is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was nice.
But Casey, what would you say your biggest win was that you're most fond of through your whole career? Of what highlight of a win would be for you?
Probably it's got to be when I won I think it was the 23rd annual Fall Classic in Fort Morgan. I think it was in 2011. No, 2012. We just had Danica. She was, 6 months old, maybe?
Born in August, it's probably 3 months old.
Yeah, she was probably 3 months old. We went out there and it was a big, it was the 23rd annual Fall Classic. And we qualified in on Friday night, and which sets you up for the race. Was it Friday or Saturday? I can't remember, but it was a day race. And I think I started 7th or 8th or something like that, and it rubbered up. And I just bought my time and was patient and picked through all of them. Eddie Bellick, Dominic Cressetta, Jeff Hunter. All the good local or the
Sure.
Colorado racers,
Yeah.
But and once I got by them, it was fucking lights out, fellas. I checked the fuck out, and then Tech in the infield though was more like fucking show and tell because they're like, oh damn, your tires look good. And, I mean, it was rubbered up,
Right.
and Casey, I mean, over here, fuck, don't win very much. I'm like, well, what the fuck do I do,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my biggest, win, but I mean, hell, I won the Wild West deal once, which I raced that deal a long time before I finally even won one,
Yeah.
But
And for people that don't know, I mean, that Wild West tour back in the early
dude, it was a
2000s and
big
mid
deal.
2000, it was a big fucking series.
I mean, I'm telling you, between Zane, which, we all know that he's everybody's favorite, I mean, fuck, yeah. No, fuck that guy. I'm sorry. But, well,
That was a
go. But anyway, my wife's yelling at me. Knock it off. Fuck it. It's a podcast, right?
It's down to pee.
Yeah. I mean, I spun fucking Zane out because I fucking told him if he laps him, I'm gonna fucking dump his ass, and I'm a fucking man of my word. I fucking lapped me, and I fucking dumped him. Oh, fuck. So,
That
not
was
a liar.
great phone call. That was an awesome phone call.
Fuck, I had like a million of them. Regan DeFoya bought me a case of beer. So, yeah, but
that Regan DeFoya tried giving me a haircut one time. I'm like, I heard what you can do.
yeah. Fuck, I forgot what I was talking about now.
But your biggest win in that.
Oh,
one of
yeah.
your biggest wins of. But we were talking about the Wild West tour and how big it
Well,
was.
I mean, the Wild West deal was huge. I mean, you get Ricky Alvarado and Justin Yeager. I mean,
yep.
I've been racing modifieds or just racing period for 24 years, and I'm telling you, the whole time that I've ever started racing, Justin Yeager he's been the man. And we've had our ups and downs, and but I consider him one of my very, very good friends, so.
Yeah, and you could tell that between you two, because when you talk to each other, I mean, just in private, I mean, he even talks you up really highly and all that. And you don't realize, I mean, you may be rivals at a track for a short time or whatever, you got your crowd favorites, and then things get played into that a little bit here and there. And I'm not saying that's what happened with you two, but just in general, I mean, but in all, at the end of the day, you guys respect each other enough, and you guys become close friends from that. So
I mean, it's your basic shit. Shit happens.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, we was rubbered up racing there in Rock Springs one time. He come in, we touched wheels. I went up, smacked the fucking wall. I mean, we were turning some of the fastest lap times in Rock Springs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't nothing he did, nothing I did. I mean, it's just hard racing. But he parked his car. I mean, before he even went through fucking Tech, he was at my trailer, and I was just like, just the respect deal,
Yeah. The level of respect is far beyond what most people go through.
Yeah.
Or, are willing to
have
a friend of that level,
Right.
I mean,
so with that, I mean, I asked everyone on this season, and I it's kind of a fun question that I like asking anyway, but I like asking everybody, if you had your Mount Rushmore drivers, so that's 4 drivers on your Mount Rushmore, who would you have on there? And I'm talking IMCA modified, just your top 4 drivers to you, that's personable to you. Who would your 4 be? I'll start with you, Shawn.
Well, I'm a huge Tyler Erb fan, but I don't talk about it because I don't want to get caught up in no one's stupid fucking drama. But Tyler Erb's probably my favorite late model driver. Then probably have to be Dylan Thornton and Casey Delp.
Woo!
You got one more. That's only 3, but you got one more.
Sean Dean was a pretty good modified driver too one time.
Yeah. Casey goes, you can't be scared. You got to lay on it. Yeah, my 4th driver. Wow. Yeah. It'd probably be Jason Doyle. Lives in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. doesn't ask no one for nothing, works his ass off. He's a bricklayer, and he's just a genuine friend too. If I needed anything, I could call him right now. I said, dude, I need 50 grand right now. He'd get it and bring it here.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. So with that, Casey, what would your Ford drivers be?
Well, there again, I got to go with Justin. He's helped me out. I mean, he's gotten me to where I'm at. I mean, hell, the first modified I ever fucking bought was his big dog. And
Yeah.
I think I can't remember which race it was. It was one of the beginning. I mean, I beat him. And you could have fucking swore that I won $1 million. But and then naturally, my dad. My dad is on the top, just because it's my dad.
Yeah. And then those that don't know, I mean, your dad he's raced for quite a while, and you guys would race, he'd race a sport mod for quite some time, and you were racing modified, and now you're both are racing modifieds, right? Is
Yep.
he still,
Yeah,
he's going to race this year?
Oh yeah. We got Sean's car. I actually called Sean up, fucking was like, did you sell that car yet? No. I said, I'm gonna come get it. And I did. I drove out and picked it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck both of them.
That was one Richie Guston drove.
Yep.
This is the one your dad ended up turning into a sport mod. And my old one, I sold it to Casey and took that money and bought a stock car with it. Because I was done racing. I wanted out. I didn't want to do it no more. Time drain, money drain.
We still got the on the side of that fucking frame, it says grinder.
Yep.
It says, hey, grinder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's your, so that's your two, Casey.
So Justin for sure, and Ricky Alvarado, I mean, the friendship that I've got with Ricky, I mean, there's no way that, I mean, I think I've finished behind him like every fucking race,
I should really stop calling him Avocado when we're talking about him then, huh?
That's right. I mean, we can't call him Ricky Avocado, when we're on fucking live feed.
I can remember him as Ricky Avocado.
I mean, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
He won the season opener at Boone this year, and I'm like, holy shit, look, Ricky Avocado, come here and kick the ass at Boone. Good job, Ricky. I hope you see that.
And I got to give a shout out to Jeff Hunter. Jeff has also been a very big part of helping me, kind of get to where I am in modifieds. I mean, Justin's helped me tremendously, but I mean, at a competitive level,
right.
Where we're competing for the win every night. I mean, you're not going to give
everything
the best advice. I mean, he's never told me wrong.
Yeah.
But he's left out some fucking nice details, but I mean, but that's just the racer in all of us.
Right.
Yep, that's the racer in all of us.
But I mean, he's never, so.
Yeah.
But
that's what guys ask me all the time. Like, I don't get into all the fucking setups and all that. I couldn't even tell you
I
where to
still
fucking
don't,
begin.
dude. I've raced for fucking 20-something fucking years, and I still can't set shit up.
Sometimes,
I fucking
that's
fake it really
my
till I
next
make
sound
it,
clip right there.
I mean, I hit the wall more than anybody, but I tell everybody, I mean, the closer you run to the fucking wall, less it fucking hurts when you hit it,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, that just on the setups and all that, I don't get into all that. I'll help a guy do the tires and grind tires and all that shit, and I just enjoy the shooting the shit with everybody and hanging out behind the scenes, and it's a good atmosphere.
Stayed in close contact when he transitioned into my stock car, but now they changed the ride height rule, and I mean, it just changed the dynamic of the cars. So
yeah,
Dylan has to change his shocks, change his springs, do whatever. And he's like, "Do you want to know?" And I'm like, "Not anymore. I want to watch it on TV. I'll cheer for you, but
yeah,
I don't care what your load."
Well, and that's every time Dylan's racing. I quit subscribing to that IMCA TV deal because I'm a broke motherfucker, you know, and you don't get to watch it, you know, you just get to watch the replay, you know. So I'm always calling Shawn. I'm like, hey, what's going on? So, you know.
Yeah,
But I'd have to put Dylan on mine. I mean, he is my favorite gravy baby.
Yeah. He, you know, in a way, I mean, he was earned it. I mean, winning Boone Nationals last year, and you know what, and all of a sudden, well, I should say, he had a really good shot of winning the modified, even back from winning the stock car. I thought he had a pretty good shot of winning that till he got taken out. Well, did he get taken out? I can't quite remember. I
Which
was
year
down in the infield in that. But
took him out?
what's that?
Which year are you talking about?
This last year in the modified race, because he was moving up.
You know, that I think that really was a racing deal. And
yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. It was a racing deal, but I couldn't remember how that went down, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to be 100% accurate, but I remember watching it live.
And remember who was all involved with it, but
I'm just going to say they were fucking wrong because, I mean, fucking Dylan's my boy. So, I mean, they were in the wrong.
But hindsight of talking to what we're talking about, though, I mean, I think had that not have happened, he could have damn near won that, if not won it. And that'd have been cool to see of him winning both of them in one
been
night.
Like
you
iconic, I mean?
Yeah.
But Tim Ward, I mean, he ran good all week. He ran a hell of a race and deserved it. But no,
we got in that cup.
Sprite.
Oh, you pussy. What else?
What
else you got in there?
Rocks.
Ah, right.
Flavored rocks.
Yep.
So what's the like, Shawn, you're retired now, not doing much. Do you go out with Dylan quite a bit then, or what do you?
The first year I retired, I went with him 121 nights. And what I thought was my passion and my dream to do wasn't my passion. It wasn't my dream.
That was like a full-time job.
It was. Dylan raced more than that. I think there was like 8 shows I didn't go to with him. So, yeah, he's one dedicated kid. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, you know, what was it, Shawn? I think one time that I come back, and that's when I bought that Peterbilt, remember? And I think that's the first time I've actually really met Dylan. And fuck, I'll send him a Snapchat or a text message all the time. And it's the dumbest shit, you know, I mean, because that's what I do. Because I drink a lot and I make a lot of bad decisions. But yeah, he still answers me back, you know, and he always, when you coming, you know, and I'm like, well, fuck, when you win the lottery or win a 50,000 to win race and let me come out, you know?
Yeah.
But
so are you planning on what's your plans this year, Casey? Obviously you're racing local there in Rock Springs and that, and
racing local, I actually bought my own truck again. Gonna step out and try to do that, you know, I mean, but
sure.
So we'll see. I mean, I want the last couple years I haven't raced a whole lot, you know. Sterling shut down that outfit we worked for our whole life. And it's just basically been catch up and reality, and it fucking sucked, you know. I think what was it, the first year or 2 years? Well, we didn't even leave. We raced Rock Springs, that was it. So
all right.
I
But
don't think
I don't know.
General public realizes what it costs to run your rig up and down the road.
Well, especially for him, because where he's at, I mean, it's not like you're.
It's like Justin said on your last one, you know. I mean, to do any racing out in our area, I mean, you got to be rigged up to do it because you got to travel so fucking far. I mean, Shawn knows. I mean, he drove fucking clear out here, you know, and you know, you didn't pass the racetrack probably till you hit. I mean, well, North Platte would have been the first one you hit on the way back to Iowa.
Yeah. Yep. When we got out of Omaha, you just go forever without one.
Yeah. And that's kind of the advantage of being here in Iowa, because I mean, you take like on a Friday night, I mean, you got Britt, Marshalltown, what else is going on, Sean? There's when does India or what is that one that's up by you there? Independence.
Independence. I think they're on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Like they alternate. They got some going on like that just because of schedule.
I remember they started back up on is either Friday or Saturday night, but I mean
Casey
you
raced
take
Independence once.
yeah.
That Sandy track. Yep.
Yeah,
But
me and Braxton did, and we both spun out and we fucking parked because I looked like a fat girl riding a goddamn tricycle.
That's a tricky track to get a hold of.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, that was the deal when we come out there. I told Sean, okay, what are we gonna do? And we met you guys in Stewart.
Yeah.
And we raced Stewart and went to your house. And then that's when Jamie sabotaged me in the fucking swimming pool.
He was getting in our swimming pool. Justin and Braxton were there. A whole bunch of us. That other boy that looked like a girl. What was his name?
Matthew. Yeah.
He was there, and Casey goes to get in the swimming pool, and the last step on the ladder just decides to let go, and all Casey made sure was his beer never got
that fucking beer did not hit the fucking water.
But Casey did.
My back was flat on the fucking back on the bottom of it, and that fucking beer, yep, it was dry.
He's lived it. Matthew. What's Matthew doing anymore?
He's been busy with helping Braxton out at a bunch of that. You know what? I've had a lot of good laughs with that kid over this last summer.
He's a lot of fun.
Them two are fun to be around with, and
you should have seen Matthew when he found out I have pretty daughters, and he was trying to put makeup on and told her or whatever. And Casey's like,
"Yeah,
you don't understand what's going to happen to you if you go out there all pretty."
Yeah, he was in there doing this shit, that stainless refrigerator in the holler, he's doing this shit with his fucking hair, and fluffing it. And I told him, this motherfucker, I said, you might as well just put a beanie on or cut it off. I said, because if you're going to go out there and think that you're going to do anything like that, I mean, I'm going to tell you, it's not going to end well.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Sean's not scared to go back to prison.
Their dad's protective.
Yeah.
He gets all pretty boy floyd up, and it's funny after the races are done, that fucker's in the fucking shower there in the toter of Jaegers getting all showered up.
By himself. He'll know what I'm talking about when I say by himself. Yeah. That's just for you there, Princess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nickname I think Sean gave him, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I did. I remember when I nicknamed that other one Cockeye. What was his name?
Oh, that's Brandon. Yeah, that's fucking Justin's niece's husband. Yeah. They call him Walleye now. He's at the mine down there he's looking at you over there, and he's the one looking at the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. That old Brandon. He's a pretty good turd. I wouldn't flush him.
No, but it's funny with Matthew and Braxton. They this last year were going all around this last summer with them. But fuck, we had some good laughs, and that kid just never ceases. I'll tell you what, them two are hooked up together. I mean, they know their shit, and you could tell it in their racing too of how far they've come in that deal.
That's huge too. Dylan's got a full-time guy now too, and man, if you can put some of your daily tasks onto your buddy and know that they're going to be done and they're going to be done right, is priceless.
Yeah, don't let them go.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing too about Braxton and Bryson. I mean, them fucking boys, when I show up to the racetrack in Rock Springs, it's like, well, I'm finishing third,
Yeah.
They're
that good.
They're that good. Yeah. I mean, they come from their dad, and they're, Justin's top tier for me.
Yeah.
But he's doing it right though too.
Why Justin is racing a stock car now. Because man, I told him, I said, dude, they are the funnest thing in the whole wide world to drive. And he's agreeing with me now.
Yeah.
He was having a ball down there in Arizona.
Oh, he was kicking the ass.
Yep.
No.
Well, and and it's funny too, because he called me today, and he's like, because my dad's out of town for our first race.
Uh-huh.
my niece is graduating, which, wish I could be there, but, but my dad's always told Justin, whenever you want to race that car, go ahead. And so, with the weather being the way it is out there, he just wanted to know if they decided not to go or if the weather got bad or rained out,
Right.
and
Yeah.
so we told him, you come get that motherfucker and you race it. So
Yeah.
but
I know he called me today and wanted to know what was going on, like what the forecast was looking like for the Spencer deal and that. But, and they talk 50, 60. I mean, Shawn, from living here in Iowa, I mean, you're talking 50, 60%, 70% chance of rain. That may be for a 3 or 4 hour period, depending on how much rain there is in that short a time frame. But it gets so fucking dicey this time of the year, and that's what makes it hard.
But when you're coming 1,400 fucking miles.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
you want to know. Yeah.
I mean, you look at a fucking 15% chance of rain, you're like, God, I'm gonna just. It looks like cloudy with a chance of drunk.
It's like watching a Midwestern go on the higher altitudes. We went snowmobiling one time. Fuck, I couldn't breathe.
That was awesome.
Parking lot.
Fuck all that goddamn air, and Shawn Ritter could not get none. Nope.
Shawn, you went back there snowmobiling with Casey, and then didn't you go with Kyle Brown and Justin?
Yeah, downstairs Kyle Brown come too.
Braxton, Justin Yeager.
We had fucking Bob too. Don't forget fucking Bob.
Yeah, worthless Bob. He came.
Oh fuck.
But how long were you out there snowmobiling for?
I think 3 days, weren't we?
2 or 3 days, yeah. Yeah, you brought my car out.
Yeah, we went to that burrito house on the way up.
Oh, Daniel, yeah.
Yes, good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Casey and beer, those things, look out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I won.
So, Ron, are you going to be down in Boone this year with Dylan? Or
I don't know. Last year, that's why last year I stayed home for Super Nationals because I thought I was his bad luck. Because we qualified with stock car 2 years prior.
Uh-huh.
And, I guess we finished the first year he raced it, and was it 20 or 21? He got second, to Dallin Murdy, and he was on 7 cylinders. And, talk about Dallin, how well Dallin and Dylan get along.
Oh, fuck. I had them both on my podcast, and
I
told you this,
They live
Shawn,
10 miles from each other. And I mean,
I'll say this, and I said this to you on the phone the other night, Shawn, is when I had Kyle Brown and Dylan and Dallin Murdy on my podcast last season, that if you heard the original audio of all that, it is about damn near almost 3.5 hours long.
Yeah.
And it just went on and on. It was a lot of fun, and
them boys got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, and it's funny. I mean, they're good, entertaining, they engage and everything. So it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I know. But are you gonna make any? Is Dylan doing any USMTS stuff or?
He's still he signed up for a few of them this year. I think he's got like 30 more super or late model races he needs to do, and then he'll fill in the blanks with either USMTS or IMCA stock car modified. So
yeah. So talk about filling the blanks, 30 super late models. Fuck.
Yeah.
If I had to race 30 times, hell, I would still be fat, but I'd be really tired.
Boy, I tell you what, I would assume that kid's probably got at least 140 on the schedule for this year.
Really?
That's a grueling task.
Yeah.
I'm watching the features going on in Marshalltown right now, and I'm watching stock cars.
It's just nonstop too.
Yeah.
I mean, they just go and go and go. So is Dylan doing any of the Salute to Veterans stuff this year? Or?
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
Okay.
He would have said something in passing about it.
No.
I think Justin is coming through the field. Look at him go. That's actually, they call him Jim Gustin when he's in his stock car and Jimmy when he's in his modified.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Think when you dip,
dipstick,
Jimmy.
Yeah, they give him two personalities: the Jim personality for the stock car, and the Jimmy personality for the modified.
Yeah. So I'll let you guys go on this, and I appreciate the time and everything that you guys have done and coming on today. And uh, check us out on the Slimy Bastard Podcast Show on all of your streaming apps and YouTube videos and all that good stuff. And anything you guys want to, anybody you guys want to thank or anything for coming on and or helping you out for the year. I know Shawn, you're retired, but Casey.
Well, I just thank you. I mean, it was, Justin asked me about it down there at Vernal the other weekend, and he's like, he's get you and Shawn on there. It's going to be a fucking shit show. I mean, I think it worked out pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's not really too rated R. But
no, I tried to keep as clean as I could. I just kept telling myself my mother might see this.
Yeah. Well, and my mom's going to watch it too, and she's going to tell me, what the fuck were you doing? That's just my mom, though.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's 10 p.m. Eastern time, our time right now, and I got my medicine's starting to kick in. So
I see your fucking eyes are getting droopy and squinty.
That's why the phone's moving all around. That fucking tripod's coming into play right now is what it is. That's the medicine.
Yeah, Sean's thinking tripod. He's like, oh, look at me. Fuck.
Thank you very much.
I want to thank you for having
really
us on.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, it is good catching up with you guys, and please share and like everything that we do here, and spread the word. And again, you guys see these guys out at the local track, stop by or check even out the Rock Springs Raceway in Rock Springs, Wyoming. They actually have one of the best, I think, tracks in the nation, and good racing. That's starting up on this Friday and Saturday, I believe, right, Casey?
Yeah, next Friday and Saturday. So remember, I drink Budweiser, and if you like to drink beer and you like Budweiser, I got you covered.
And Kara does a hell of a job there. She's a great track promoter, and she helped me out a ton with my dad's stuff last year. And
absolutely.
Good luck to you guys out there, and good luck this season, Casey. And thanks again for your guys' time. Till next time, toodaloo, buckaroo.
Hey, ciao, fellas.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys later. Thanks again.
Pit Stop Motorsports, Dirt Tracks Racing, largest inventory trackside parts service. We keep racers on the track, located in Rock Springs, Wyoming, and coming to a track near you. Check us out on Facebook at Pit Stop Motorsports. And tell Slade Pitt the Slimy Bastards sent you.
Driver interviews, pit action, industry news. We're bringing you everything that fuels the adrenaline-pumping world of dirt track racing. Buckle up now. You're sitting with the Slimy Bastards.